That is right. Welcome back to the UMass Sports Insider. Happy to have you here in Amherst. I'm Jay Burnham, voice of the Minutemen, alongside my co-host Nathan Strauss. Nathan, good to see you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. Great to be back here behind this desk. And boy, we've got a lot of sports to talk about here.
We sure do, man. And this is what we've got coming up on the show. We're going to talk a lot of hockey. We've got defenseman Ryan Ufko. He'll join us in just a little bit. Also, we'll talk with Cole Brady, one of the goaltenders for UMass hockey. And we'll have our Coffee with a Coach presented by Duncan with UMass women's soccer head coach Jason Dowiak. We'll also take a look back at the 2023 UMass Athletics Hall of Fame. But first, let's start here. UMass football will play on the road at Army this weekend. This offense for UMass football has been much better than what it was a year ago.
It's been explosive, and it all starts in the backfield. K'Ron Lynch-Adams has been an absolute workhorse. 5 yards a carry, one of the nation's leading rushers. Also, yards after contact. He has been so good this year in the backfield. It's so hard to bring him down, following up in the footsteps of Ellis Merriweather last year. But then Anthony Simpson, when was the last time you saw a receiver for UMass with this kind of explosive capability? 16 yards per catch, a couple of absolute bombs that he has drawn in from Carlos Davies and Tyson Pumachan as well. So it's been a lot of fun to watch on the offensive side.
It certainly has been an entirely different look. They'll see if they can finish the season strong. Meanwhile, they just mentioned women's soccer. They're going to be a 4 seed at Rudd Field here in Amherst on Friday against Duquesne. This team has looked so good this season.
Especially at home. Undefeated at home. They've drawn once at home. They've won 7 of their 8 games. And Jason Dowiak has them finishing in the top 4 for the 4th time in 6 years. They've never missed the postseason under Jason Dowiak. We'll talk with him in a little bit.
We also got a lot of puck that we're going to talk. What a start to the season for the men on the ice. You've got a big win against Michigan, 2 wins on the road against a ranked Minnesota State team.
Yeah, and Minnesota State came to UMass 2 years ago on Banner Day and spoiled the party a little bit. This time, UMass goes back there and hands their new head coach their first 2 losses of the season, returning the favor. A lot of momentum before Hockey East play starts.
Big game coming up on Saturday. Meanwhile, for men's soccer, their tournament is set to begin in that first week of November. 7-4-5 on the season for them, and field hockey 11-6, their tournament as well, first week in November.
Field hockey always contenders. Last year they were finalists, nationally ranked again this year. Anything can happen come tournament time, and Coach Barb will have them fired up.
Well, speaking of having so much going on, we're going to show you what is coming up. Of course, basketball, men's and women's, also getting revved up here at the Mullins Center. Also, take a look back at the 2023 UMass Athletics Hall of Fame inductees and banquet that was held here at the end of September. That's coming up right now. On September 29th, UMass Athletics hosted their annual George Trigger Burke Hall of Fame induction ceremony at the campus center in Amherst.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. So many of you, welcome back to your alma mater and to the University of Massachusetts. It's a pleasure to host you this evening.
The evening featured 4 amazing former UMass student athletes, as well as 3 very deserving Achievement Award winners, beginning with the Martin Jacobson Distinguished Alumni Award recipients to Jim and Ellen Hunt, class of 1977, for their contributions of leadership and service to the athletic department.
Ellen and I, we've worked hard using our UMass education to give back to our school. We are intimately involved in the athletic program, and most importantly, we want to see success in the cross-country and track and field programs. So thank you for having me today, and thank you, Ellen, so much for what you've done.
Then followed the John Francis Kennedy Maroon Leadership Award, presented to Susan Pearson for her longtime devotion in various roles at UMass. At the banquet, she highlighted one of her many achievements.
I think I had 2 principal accomplishments as Deputy AD. The first came after my first week. I sat down and met with each of the head coaches. And at my first meeting with Judy Dixon, I found her in her office wearing a parka, hat, and mittens, as a result of which I brought heat into Boynton.